an emergency update because there's so many things happening at once, and I'm running so many things here, so I cannot make it the professional with pro cameras as I usually do. So it's going to be a really quick update in this format like this, so you guys stay up to date as to what is happening and so that you understand what is going on. So there's some very important news, some short term that will affect the price for sure. Something that is going to be happening today, so this way it's kind of an emergency video. And then there's going to be other stuff that is going to be very important long term. There's some incredibly good news, but it's more for long term. So anyway, let me quickly give you an overview of the news. Then I will show you some of the trades that we've taken and some of the trades we've taken in the community. If you're not part of the community, I don't know, you're wasting your time. So let's get straight into this. So first of all, first news, and then we're going to talk quickly about the technicals, and then we're gonna move on. So first of all, Trump says that the interview process for the next Fed chair has started and they're down to 3 candidates. And right now we have almost 100% probability of interest rate reduction in September. So this is kind of shifting the narrative a little bit. So we really hope that we're gonna start reducing interest rates fast. So first news, which is kind of meh. But it's still important. Second news, which is huge. Trump says he will be imposing a 100% tariff on all semiconductors coming into the US. Tariff war bullshit continues, and it doesn't stop at semiconductors. It actually is right here. It continues with India, after India, Trump puts additional 15% tariff on Japan. And this just keeps going. And today, actually, there's going to be more tariffs going into effect. So we really want to see how the countries will retaliate. So all of this is kind of bad short term. However, before I talk about the price action and what I'm expecting from the price and the trades I'm about to take, because as the title reads emergency short, there is a reason why it reads that, so I'll tell you everything. So, and if you watched the previous video with the daily market update, then you kind of understand a little bit the narrative already, so it's the continuation. Every video that I make is always the continuation. So, SEC declares crypto liquid staking activities are not considered securities. So they spoke about this previously, but now it is basically official that staking is not a security. So, and this news here, which is the absolute freaking juiciest of the entire video, which is also kind of an emergency for you guys to know this, Ethereum Treasury companies will compete for yield and DeFi to be able to raise even more funds for TradFi investors. So in other words, there are companies that are building their treasury companies that are just like MicroStrategy that are building Bitcoin reserves, and they're offering some kind of leveraged entry into Bitcoin for institutionals to buy their stocks if they want to bet on Bitcoin. And Ethereum is starting to hit the same narrative. There are so many companies that overall are maybe okay companies, but their biggest bet is not their daily business, rather them acquiring either Bitcoin or Ethereum or both. And right now, considering that we see that crypto liquid staking are not securities anymore, and there are companies that actually are acquiring as much ETH as possible to fight for the actual DeFi and not for DeFi, actually fight for the yield in DeFi. This is exactly what I've been telling you all along for the last year and a half, why Ethereum will most likely outperform everything else, because it has the highest basically yield reward on Wall Street. If Wall Street can access Ethereum and it's DeFi, it's got all the protocols of staking, it's got so many things in terms of the crypto ecosystem, and that actually improves the world of traditional fiat system and the monetary system. The big asset managers and the big funds, and they already are doing this in companies, building treasuries in Ethereum, and then offering this to the investors, and then also introducing staking into the Ethereum ETF. So if the SEC just classified it as not a security, so they can finally integrate staking into the ETF. And now imagine, so there is a deflationary asset on Wall Street that actually has more yield than 95% of stocks on the S&P 500. Imagine what's going to happen to the price of Ethereum. This is what I've been talking to you guys about for the last year and a half. And that's why Ethereum is doing so well. And this is exactly the reason why we're seeing so much accumulation of institutionals in terms of Ethereum ETF. They're sometimes selling Bitcoin but buying ETH. So get ready for ETH run. But this is long term. So when it comes to the chart, what I want to tell you about is if you look at the chart in Bitcoin, we had this pattern here, we broke down, then we kind of are retesting it from below, and we're creating this pattern right here, and we kind of hit it here. So same thing with Ethereum. So we broke out, we kind of grabbed liquidity here where I told you we're gonna grab it, so that's like 3,400, and I told you about this zone, so we bounced off of it, and kind of we're trying to break this neckline, so with the continuation higher. But considering the tariff war, considering it's August, we don't really believe in this up move as very much. Like technically it's not bad. Technically, I've actually taken it over on Evadex partly. So it's a small trade because still we're adding liquidity slowly. And remember that Evadex is a decentralized trading platform, which is no KYC. It is private, it is self-custodial, so you always retain complete control over your assets, and it's cheaper than centralized exchanges. So again, you're welcome to trade on it. And with my link in the description of this video, you can claim up to 10% extra cash back on your trading fee. So you actually go to your assets and claim cash back in real money every single day. It's available only if you use my link. And also on Bybit, we've taken a real nice long trade right here with a nice small profit. And we actually posted this trade inside of our community, inside of Krallo Trades. And I know that in the previous video, I spoke about more of a short opportunity, and this is what I'm gonna get to in just a second to give you a full update, but the market dictated something different. And again, we've done it all together with our community and we've posted about it. So yeah, again, if you want to see my trades before everyone else, there is a link to our Discord in English down in the description of this video. You can either deposit $300 to Bybit or to Evadex and actually gain access to my trading community for absolutely free. But all the links, all the information is down there. No time for this today. So the idea here is that we are still, in terms of the D60 delta that I showed you before, the bids and asks, everything looks like we're going to consolidate maybe for a bit, maybe go a tiny bit higher, and then finally go down. So we're actually looking for a short entry because it's August, because of Trump's tariff war. We could be wrong here. We're not saying we're perfect, but overall we're doing okay. So we're expecting still tiny bit lower prices, the ones I've spoken about in the previous video with a daily update. So that's something that you really should be paying attention to right now if you want to really understand how the price moves in the short term. And again, we're trading actively in the community, so come join us. And don't forget about, because again, for the short trade right now, it's difficult to pinpoint exactly the price level, and possibly something out of these levels would be a good place to start entering into a short with a target of lower prices and lower liquidity sweep, so we can actually find ourselves long trades going into maybe end of August or September, etc. So that's something that, again, we'll post in our community. Maybe I'll make videos here, but mostly I will just come. Sometimes it happens at 5 a.m. So we post it in the community. So therefore, come join us. Also, stay tuned for more news. Subscribe to that notification bell and join either Bybit, where is Bybit? Either Bybit, because it's a centralized platform with a bit more liquidity, or Evadex, which is actually decentralized, self-custodial, fully private, and it's cheaper than centralized exchanges. If you build yourself up in gamification and level up your character, you'll get more cash back. And with my link in the description of this video, you can claim up to actually extra 10% of your cash back, which is real money. So go save yourself real money, and I'll see you next video.